I have an update. If you've been following along the redundancy video, the job search video, the pregnancy reveal video, you can guess where this might be going. It took 3 months, a lot of rejections, a lot of ghosting, and some roles that I walked away from. And in between all of this, I'm growing a human, trying to stay healthy physically and mentally, hosting a few people, putting some content out, and also managing family, including both sets of parents, and secretly hoping that I was making the right decision when I was walking away from some roles. And today, I'm here to tell you they were right decisions. I got the job. Context. For anyone new here, here's a quick recap. My role with my previous company was made redundant in March this year. And this was my first redundancy. I was pregnant for the first time, made redundant and unemployed for the first time, and needing to figure out what the next chapter looked like. So I made a video back then talking about my job search, the financial preparation, the mental side of things, the ghosting, the lowball offers that I walked away from. If you haven't watched that video, please go ahead and watch it. I'll link it somewhere here. Now, this video is the update. Now, let's talk about the job search and what actually happened. So, over March, April, and May, I applied a lot of roles. I did mention to you guys in my previous video where there were no responses, there was a lot of ghosting, some would respond but never follow up. So, all that was happening. However, I want to talk about two roles in particular. One of those roles came about around end of April. So, from March until end of April, I hadn't attended any interview yet because the application didn't get that far. Around end of April, there was this recruiter that contacted me through LinkedIn and they asked me if I was available. So I told them I was available and they did mention about the job. That job, I'll be very honest, when they first explained, it felt like even though it was a lead job, it was a step backwards to what I had been doing because the technology was really old. The company didn't excite me at all. But I still said yes to proceed with the interview only because I hadn't given any interviews and I was starting to worry myself that nothing is going to happen. You know, you are in that position where you've been applying jobs and you're not hearing back, and you hear back at one point, or even when you hear back, you know, at the last minute, the role goes on hold or whatever and nobody shows up, blah, blah. So because all of this was happening, I wanted to at least have one interview. So I went ahead and did like the first hiring manager round. Mind you, this role didn't excite me at all. The pay was very less to what I had been getting. I know it was a bit of a compromise or a large compromise in terms of money itself, but the position was good. The company didn't excite me. The role didn't excite me either. I just went ahead and said yes only because I hadn't given any interview. And I was thinking, let me give an interview, let me see the people that work there and let me hear out what their plans are. Maybe they want someone to come in and make things more modern. And if I'm part of that journey, then that might be better. Maybe today I start with like really old technology, but over a course of a year or 6 months, it might get better. So I wanted to give myself that chance. I went ahead and attended the interview. I cleared the hiring manager interview, and the next round was an in-person, about 90 minutes interview or something. And I went ahead and gave that interview as well. It did feel like it went really well. And this recruiter didn't get back to me for like 5 or 6 days. I followed up the following day. I was waiting for them to get back to me. They contacted me and they asked me how the interview went after the interview. Like after I came home and all that, they asked me and I told them. And they even started asking like if I were to start, when could I start? If I can give them 2 of my references, blah, blah, blah and all that. I was asking them for feedback because remember, I'm still not mentally okay with that role because low offer, the role didn't excite me. And when I went and attended in person, I started asking questions and I performed, but I also asked questions because I see interview as two-way process. The candidate should also be okay with the company and the company should be okay with the candidate, right? For me, from a candidate perspective, I was not necessarily super okay with it. If I were to take it, I would only take it for money, but I wouldn't have any passion on it and I didn't want to do that. I was like, half of me was thinking we have money, we have so much runway, I can let go of this one also, even if I get the role. So I was I would talk to Karthik lots about it. We'd go on walks and we'd talk about it, and Karthik was like, do what you want to do. If it's like really bad and you don't want to do it, take it. Don't take it. Anyway, we were discussing all of this. The HR contacted. She was asking me for my references and all that. I told her I'll wait for the feedback, and if the feedback is positive, I'll give her 2 of my references from previous employer. And she never got back. I left the following day, but I contacted on Friday. So the in-person interview was the last round. It was on Wednesday. So I left on Thursday because I'd already spoken to her on Wednesday, and I contacted her on Friday. They didn't respond at all. Come Monday, they didn't respond. But around Wednesday or Thursday, the following week, they told me that they're not going to take me because all my answers were more from a team perspective and not necessarily an individual perspective. So if you again hadn't watched my previous video, I'm very experienced in setting up a team and mentoring team and all that. But whilst I'm doing that, my contribution is mentoring the team. It's not that I've not done it, but I don't know, that was the feedback I got. I was like, okay, fine. This role was never meant to happen, so it didn't happen, but it was at least a feedback that I got, and I was okay with it. Next came another role, and it was a manager role. Once again, I was super excited about that role. The pay was once again not as much as I would have liked, but I was still okay with it, and I kind of made up my mind thinking that currently the market is such, and any pay above a certain number for my level should be okay. So I was okay with it, and I attended. The recruiter round went fine. Next was hiring manager round, and because this was a manager role and next round was hiring manager round, the recruiter was super clear saying that this round is going to be hiring manager round. You have a technical round afterwards, so make sure you answer appropriately. So, and I was thinking, okay, a hiring manager, they want me to set up a team or bring the team together, blah blah blah, whatever, and I attended the interview from that mindset. This role I was very keen because there's AI, it's all very futuristic, it was very modern, and I wanted to work for one such company. I was okay with the pay difference that I told you earlier. Also, this was a fully remote role, so I was okay with all of it, with good benefits. So I was really keen and I wanted to make an impression on this role. What happened was, so I attended the hiring manager round and it felt like it went really, really well. After a couple of days, the feedback I got from the recruiter was I wasn't technical enough. But I did tell the recruiter that they had told me that there was going to be a technical round afterwards and I didn't have to be technical now. But again, it was too late. Again, that was one other feedback that I took it to my heart. When you're like pregnant, hormonal, sensitive, and not getting any interviews or there's no leads, every rejection feels very personal. This on like another day, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. This is a data, I'll work on it for my next interview. But at that point, it was very personal for me and I just wanted to take time for myself. I took that time and I moved on. Now let's talk about the role that came through. So throughout my job search journey, there was this one company or one ecosystem that kept coming up. They had an open role for like a lead position around March. I reached out. I wasn't a complete stranger to that group of companies. I'd worked for one of their sister companies, let's call it that. I'm not going to name the company at all, so take what you will from this. So I had worked for one of their sister companies and I did reach out for that lead position. I jumped on a call with the HR and the HR just mentioned that the level that they were looking at was junior to where I was at. So that didn't progress. I mean, in a tight job market, it hurts. It did hurt a bit, but I was also very early on with the job search. This happened around March or early April. So I was like, I had a lot of hope and faith that I'll get something. The next time, another role came up. It's not exactly the role that I've done in the past. It is a adjacent role and I did apply for it, but that didn't convert or that didn't go anywhere. So I was again okay with it because that was an adjacent role and I know how that company operates. And if you're going to get like candidates who have already done that role, me as a hiring manager would definitely choose that candidate. Nobody's going to choose like someone who is going to move adjacent unless they can't find candidates at all. So it was okay. Now let's talk about the role that came through. Once again, another role came up and this was around mid-May. Now if you follow the timeline, you know my parents were here around 9th of May and my in-laws were here around 16th of May. This role came about around like 13th of May or something. And I applied it immediately. The HR round went very well, and this time it was okay. I was okay with the salary band, and they were okay with the level of seniority that I was looking for. So that was all clear. Next was the hiring manager round, and the hiring manager round also went okay. Now the hiring manager round happened on a Friday in like the third week of May or something. After the hiring manager round, I did ask them what are the next steps. The next step was a technical test. I was like, oh dear. And I asked them if it was something like a codility test where, there's a timer or something and you spend 2 hours and you're done with it. No, it was not something like that. It was a proper test where I had to write a lot of code, build a framework for like different types of systems, and then I had to do something with AI and report back on what the AI gave and how I improvised from there. So easy 10-hour at least worth of my time would go in like writing that test properly. I could spend a lot more as well, but a minimum of 8 to 10 hours, or I would finish it in, let's say, 8 to 10 hours in a decent state. I can always make it better. I could always spend more time, but at one point you want to stop it. I spent the weekend doing the test. Now imagine this house full of people, everyone is getting prepped for our baby shower. Our baby shower was following week, Thursday and Friday. I attended the hiring manager round on Friday previous week, and the hiring manager was happy. They gave me the technical test. The HR sent it immediately, and I spent the entire weekend trying to sneak in and do the technical test while also being present with the family for making arrangements for our baby shower. So in our families, we have 2 sets of functions, Valikapasimandam, and it was scheduled to happen on Thursday on Friday last week of May, so 28th and 29th. Regardless, I successfully completed the test and submitted it on the Sunday. I want you to sit with that for a minute. Me, pregnant, about 27 and a half weeks, family prepping for baby shower in full swing, me trying to sneak in here and there, and also wanting to complete this test on time and hoping the interview happens in the first 3 days the following week because I've got functions the next 2 days. Let that sink in. For me, it was a lot, but I just pushed through. And I wanted to do this for me and for my future baby. They were really, really happy with my test, but they wanted me to attend the 4th round, which was like a case study and an in-person go through the technical test kind of round on Thursday, exactly the day of one of the baby shower functions. I did tell them I can't attend Thursday or Friday only because I had other commitments that made in advance. So they moved to following week Monday, which was 1st of June. I went in to attend the last round, the case study round or in-person technical test walkthrough round on the 1st of June, about 28 and a half weeks pregnant, trying to give it all of what I've got. I gave everything that I had in me. I came back and I just waited. Now let's talk about the offer. So I attended this interview on the 1st of June. 2nd of June morning, 8:55 a.m. I get a call from the HR asking for my feedback on how the interview went. They also checked with me the salary band that I was after and my availability and so on and so forth. They told me that they would try and get the feedback from the interviewers later today and let me know what the next steps were. And she told me she'll try and do this in the next hour or so. But by 9:35, they came back to me saying I got the job. Now, I was fully prepared to negotiate to the higher end of that band that they were offering. But when they mentioned the offer, they already opened with the higher end. So I just accepted it as it is. I felt such validation. Like, you can't believe how I felt that moment. I felt so relieved. I felt so validated. I felt, I don't know, I can't put it into words. But I was like, this is everything for 3 months of not settling. So I can continue to have faith and trust in myself. That was a moment. It was such a moment, and I can't put it into words how that felt. Now, there was this other thing also. My role was made redundant, or I got to know that my role was impacted on 2nd of March. And I got the offer on 2nd of June, exactly 3 months. And another thing is, I'm not necessarily a very superstitious person, but apparently, astrology and all that, someone said that there was Guru Perchi happening on 2nd of June, and it was going to be good days or good time for me or for my Rasi. And I don't know if it was Guru Perchi or if it was hard work or if it was months of not settling. Everything worked and it just happened for me. This role itself, it's hybrid working. It's in the CBD. I've worked in that ecosystem before. I haven't worked with this set of people. It's a new project per se, and it is a AI project. Something that I really wanted to get into because the industry is gearing towards that way. So I wanted to work in like an AI product, and I'm so happy that I will be getting to do that. I start with this company very soon. Now let's talk about the pregnancy piece. You guys all know about the pregnancy, and you must be wondering if I did disclose about my pregnancy during the interview process or not. And I'll tell you, I did not disclose about my pregnancy to any of the potential employers at the time of interview. That is my legal right. And I wanted it to be a deliberate decision. I wanted to be evaluated based on my skills and not necessarily based on someone's assumptions on how available or committed I would be on the role. But I want to be honest with you. There is a psychological factor to it. When you are applying for lead or senior manager kind of roles, the conversation usually is about future plans. When you internally know that you're going to be there for X months before you go on a bit of a break, it takes emotional toll on you. It definitely does. I wouldn't say that it didn't affect me. It has. And I am going to be working with my manager to see how we can maneuver and how we can walk through this. I will also be very honest with you. There were moments of doubt throughout this journey in the last 3 months. Since May or so, I started doubting myself and I started questioning everything. If I want to keep applying for jobs, do I want to keep doing this? Do I not want to do this? There has been that, and that is reality of job searching while you are pregnant. But at the end of the day, if you know what you can bring to the table and if you're willing to do so at that time of the pregnancy journey, I don't see any harm in applying for jobs. Yes, before you start, it would be good of you to just tell them that you're pregnant and this is how you think you would be taking your leaves and these are your plans and how you can navigate through this journey. But yes, definitely disclosing at the time of the offer or once you have signed the offer is a moral thing to do in my opinion. But again, each to their own. The only reason I kept applying was I was telling myself I have skills, I have experience, and I know what I can bring to the table. And none of this is going to be cancelled because I'm growing a baby. Women always go back to work after they have had baby if they are willing to do so. And I want to do that as well. So I was mentally ready to do this. But I said to myself, I'll apply until let's say mid-May, and if nothing works out, I'll stop after that. So mid-May was my let's say boundary or my end date. If nothing was happening after mid-May, I would not apply any jobs. And I stayed true to my words. I did not apply any jobs after mid-May because this role just came around like 12th or 13th of May or something like that. So if you are in a similar situation that is pregnant and are looking for a job, don't count yourself out unless you let the process do its thing. Let the process decide if they want to hire you or not. You're always allowed to try. What I would tell you now, if you're job searching or if you're in a similar situation as I am, or you fear that you might be in this position, here's what I genuinely took away from this season. Know your runway. I think I mentioned in the job search video as well. Know your runway. Once you know your runway, you would wait for the right role. If you don't know your runway, then you're going to panic and you may accept lowball offers. So knowing your runway is an absolute must. Wait for the right role if you can. Your network is your most underused asset. Network, and make sure you use your network appropriately. Rejection is always a data. It is not a verdict. Even though rejection hurts, take the feedback, work on that feedback, get better in your next interview. Know your number before the call. If you think the interview has gone well, prep yourself mentally. Know your number before the call happens. If you are pregnant and job searching, you can do both. Some days you will not feel strong. Take the day off. Don't apply jobs on that day. If you can, rest, do something else. Exercise, gardening, cooking, whatever makes you happy, do that. You don't have to apply job every single day. I hope some of these tips help you. At almost 31 weeks pregnant, I'll be walking into a new workplace, learning a new product, trying to prove myself, and also making sure that the human that I'm growing is healthy and safe, and sharing all of it with you. It is a lot to carry physically and mentally, and I would not pretend otherwise. But it is not impossible to do. If I can do it, so can you. But if you want to take this time off, sit back, relax, then that's fine too. There's no one right way to do things. This is my story. Thank you for being here through this season. Thank you for the messages and the support and the people that showed up when I shared I was going through something really difficult. I can't really put into words how much it means to me. I'm looking forward to this next beautiful chapter of my life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.